Today, I am going to share with you 23 perspectives to shed light on how you can mix vocals perfectly. Now, the way I'm going to go about doing this is by using inversion thinking. This was popularized by Charlie Munger. Inversion thinking is simply listing all the ways to do something wrong and then doing the complete opposite of that. It's solving problems in reverse. Say, for example, if you wanted to have a good relationship with your significant other, you could say, how do I destroy my relationship with my significant other? Then you list out all the ways to do that exact thing and you do the opposite. What's interesting about our brains is we're much better at finding problems than finding solutions, which is why you're always searching for problems in your mix. Let's harness this innate ability that we have, find the problems, then flip them in reverse to find the solutions. Let's get into the video. Okay, so number one, this is one of the best ways to ruin a vocal. Record it in a bad room with the TV on in the background, with your friends scrolling on their phones in the background and talking, and your cat barking and your dog meowing. Poor mic technique, clipping your interface right next to the window and you hear cars honking outside. Record it with a whole bunch of plugins already on your vocals so you don't even know what the vocal sounds like. That's the best thing you can do to ruin a vocal, to record it terribly. Number two, compress the out of it so it sits in the corner and stays still like it's on punishment or something. Just take all the dynamics and expressive energy out of it. Great way to ruin a vocal. 3, EQ out all the resonances. Lots of people talk about this, like music has been around for hundreds, thousands, millions of years, and all of a sudden these resonant frequencies are so offensive we need to terminate all of them. Just take out all the harmonic value of the vocal so it becomes even more lifeless after you've put 4 compressors on it. Number 4, take advice from people who don't mix music you like or like the sound of their vocal mixes. Let's think about this. We listen to people give us advice on how to mix vocals, but then when you listen to that vocal, does it give you chills? Does it remind you of that feeling that your favorite song gives you? But still take the advice anyway. Number 5, mix only your vocals. Number 6, think that mixing vocals is easy. Putting soothe, a couple compressors, a couple EQs on a vocal is easy, but that doesn't give you the result you're searching for. So don't spend the time and effort learning what actually gets you the result you're looking for. Just slap some plugins on there and say mixing is easy. Number 7, blame the plugins. Your speakers, your interface, whatever. It's not the plugins, it's you. It's your skill set, your creativity, and your experience. Number 8, mix in a bad room. You haven't trained your ears yet anyway, so you might as well say, the acoustics of my space. I'm going to mix in a bad room and not know what the is going on. So when I play this in my car, it'll sound like shit. Good job. Number 9, think that people don't care and can't tell the difference anyway. So the intricacies, the long, tedious, and detailed work that you could do but don't want to do is okay to skip. It's not that you not caring translates to other people not caring, because that's not how energy works. It's not that you didn't devalue your art, it's the people. They don't value the art anymore. So you might as well skip the steps that will make your art stand out and be more valuable, because who cares about that anyway? Number 10, do things to a vocal just because you think you're supposed to do it. Just because someone said you compress first or EQ first, or you have to use 2 compressors, or you have to compress 3 to 5 dB, or you have to high pass to 100, or you have to sidechain your reverb, or whatever. Just doing things because someone said to do it and you think you have to. Good way to fuck up a vocal, because are you even listening? Why listen when I could just use a Chris Brown vocal preset? Which leads me to the next way to ruin your vocal. Number 11, vocal presets. If you're not Chris Brown, in fact, even if you were Chris Brown's twin brother, Caleb Brown, and y'all could sing exactly the same, if you decide, you know what, I'm gonna start singing now too, nobody would give a I still haven't made it through Chris Brown's last album that had like 50 songs on it. I'm not listening through yours. I don't know what to tell you, Caleb, but Chris beat you to the punch, so you're gonna have to change your voice or do something different to separate yourself, okay? I don't know what to tell you. Trying to sound like other artists is an easy way to ruin your vocal because you're not them. Even if you manage to get close, nobody cares. We already got Chris Brown. We don't need another one. Number 12, don't practice. Just discount the fact that music at the highest level is done by people who have dedicated their life to this. Nobody says to a basketball player, yeah, you could go to the NBA because you're tall. No, you still have to practice to be an NBA player. You have to put in the work. You have to prove that you can compete at a high level. But when it comes to mixing vocals, oh yeah, I have some little KRKs, all the coolest plugins, and I just started mixing a year or so ago. I only really mix my own stuff and I make like a few songs a year. That's the perfect recipe for mixing bad vocals. Number Number 13, tolerate mediocrity from yourself and others. This goes back to the previous point, thinking that nobody cares. But people remember what gives them chills. People remember exceptional service. People remember that you care about what you're doing, but not when it comes to mixing vocals. You must raise your standard. You think Beyonce would be Beyonce if she was okay with being mediocre? Number 14, think that your ability to mix vocals great is outside of yourself. When you get the perfect plugins, this new analog piece, or the best interface, etc. Again, it's you. The best can do this with anything, or better yet, nothing. Number 15, avoid working on what matters most. The reality is the plugins are just tools. They are not the things that breathe life and personality into a performance. It's your skill in using them. A compressor can be a life-breathing tool or a life-sucking tool. The difference depends on the user, not the plugin. The best in the world are not doing the most stuff. They're doing the right stuff. It's looking at the many things you can do or want to do and deciding to do the things that move the needle the most. Number 16, do what everyone else is doing. If you're doing what everyone else is doing, most people are not the best. So if you keep doing that, you know what you'll get. Number 17, do your best, not what it takes. The reality is you may not be good at mixing vocals, so you have to get better. Your best may not be good enough, but figuring out what is required and practicing this is how you get better. But if you want to suck, just keep doing your best. But at some point, your best should surpass what is required. Then you become Beyonce level. Number 18, try a new plugin on your vocals today and try a new one tomorrow, when you haven't even figured out how to use the first 50 you had or the ones that came stock in your DAW. Good way to stay confused about the result you're getting. You never truly learn how to use any plugins. You're like a plugin You're for the streets. Learn a small set of plugins and become an expert with those tools. Number 19, believe what you're seeing on the screen over what you're hearing. This may be a little controversial, but there are times when I'm hearing compression and the plugin isn't showing that I'm compressing. There are times where I've made an extreme EQ move, but it sounds magical. There are times where I see a spike on an EQ analyzer and I don't hear a problem. Or if I do hear a problem, it's actually a little bit left or right of what the analyzer is telling me. I'm hearing a discrepancy in what the analyzer or the screen is telling me versus what I'm hearing. Always trust what you're hearing and feeling over what code is telling you, because guess what? Code can't hear or feel. Number 20, know that you have problems to fix and don't fix them. What I mean by this is, you know you need to acoustically treat your mixing space, but you don't do it. You know you need to take time out to train your ears, but you don't do it. You know you should stop being lazy, but you don't do it. Great way to ruin your vocals. Number 21, be replaceable. This again goes back to being mediocre and accepting this. If anybody can slap a few plugins on and get a mediocre result, you just fired yourself. So be replaceable. Don't even try to be great at mixing vocals. Number 22, find out what works to get the result that you desire and don't do it. People ask me, how do you get your vocals to sound so good? And I tell them, they say, I'm not doing all that. I'm literally telling you what works, and you can hear what works, because why would you ask me? And you say, I'm not going to do all of that. And this isn't something that I made up entirely. I researched and studied this because I have a desire to be the greatest. If that's not what you want, that's fine. Keep your mixes the way they are. One may argue that it's better for me not to tell you these things, but I think it's better for the overall experience and elevation of music. But do what you want to do, or better yet, do what you feel like doing. Number 23, assume you are always right. Someone says, put a clipper on a vocal, clip it 10 dB, then put a transient designer after it. You might say, that's not what you should do to a lead vocal. Just do it. See what happens and listen to the effect of it. It may be exactly what's needed for this situation. It may be totally stupid, but you could just take it off. Try things. Keep what you like, throw away what you don't like. Stop being a know-it-all engineer where there is an infinite amount of knowledge around the deep rabbit hole of engineering. If you know everything, why don't you get the results you want anyway? Everyone knows something I don't know. Keep your mind open. Now, when you reverse all of these, you can succeed, because you will not be making the mistakes and going down the common pitfalls of mediocrity. So go back through these and reverse every one of them, and you'll be on your way to having perfect vocal mixes.